With him in attack, 3 19-year-olds. Number 7, Richard Jobson, on the right in place of the suspended Nigel Callaghan. Number 9, John Barnes, and on the left, number 11, David Johnson, who starts a First Division match for the first time. With 5 men still injured, Manchester United keep the 12 which lost at Everton when Laurie Cunningham came on as substitute. And 2 men in the same team who've captained England this season. Ray Wilkins and Brian Robson, both in the squad for next Wednesday's match against Hungary. Referee this afternoon is Don Shaw from Sandbach. It's Watford's first ever league visit to Old Trafford. They've enjoyed 2 fine cup performances here. Luther Blissett on the ball. That one in the League Cup when he scored twice. And that's his shot. And supporters will also remember that Jeff Whelan's on loan, the keeper from Birmingham, that Watford played here in the FA Cup back in 68-69 and forced a draw. Nicely turned inside by Stapleton. The Watford battlers win possession again. That was forward by Jackett. And Moses gets a touch. Whiteside couldn't, so it was back by Sims. And it was Barnes who was caught by Grimes. Just gives us the chance to make the point that these 2 clubs have a very good disciplinary record this season. Ashley Grimes, the only player to be sent off from either of these 2 teams. That was for an incident at West Ham. But other than that, a clean sheet for United and a completely clean sheet for Watford in their first season in Division 1 when they've done so well. Bolton will take the free kick. Blissett up. And away by Wilkins. Oh, that's a good touch from Stapleton and indeed from Wilkins. And United move smoothly as far as Whiteside and then find that again Watford get a foot in. Stapleton again. That's another interesting looking pass. McGrath. Good effort. McGrath had the shot, but Frank Stapleton's contribution twice in that move once again underlined Ron Atkinson's point that he is the most complete centre-forward in British football. And Barnes puts Johnson away and Duxbury caught out of position and Johnson goes on and is eventually awarded a free kick for a foul by Moses. Brian Robson challenged that with the referee quite forcibly. So indeed does the other England captain of this season, Ray Wilkins. And Remy Moses is going to be booked, and that means almost certainly a suspension which will not affect the FA Cup final, because if that puts Remy Moses to 31 points, as it may well do, depending on an earlier booking at Everton being confirmed, he will start a 2-match suspension 2 weeks today. He will get it over by the time the FA Cup final comes round. So in a sense that's a relief, I suppose, but they're contesting it, the booking, the United players. Free kick to Watford. Curled in for Blissett. And a corner is given. Or is it? The referee pointed towards the corner and has checked with the linesman, and it's a goal kick. But the reason for the Remy Moses booking there may have been the referee felt it was his second offence. Certainly not vicious, but he is a player at the moment living very much on a tightrope. Blissett. Oh, good ball, Barnes. Made the shooting chance. And who says Watford don't play with skill? Luther Blissett turned and ran at the defence, checked when he saw Barnes in a good position. He in turn checked to make the shooting position better and was then too high. Good combination though. On by Stapleton. Jobson trying to turn Orbiston. He succeeded. Orbiston's gone down, apparently injured. This is Taylor into Jacket. It's left the right flank free for Watford with Jobson, but McGrath saw the danger. And his tackle has allowed Orbiston to regain his balance, although he appears to have taken a knock. Blissett coming forward. And Whelan saw there that it was 1 against 1, Whiteside and Bolton. And who knows, it could have put Whiteside through. That was a sensible kick by Gary Bailey's deputy. Forward by Jacket, there goes Barnes against McGrath. He's got the pace, and has Jobson got the finish? Whelans did well. Well, the star of the opening half hour here is undoubtedly Watford's John Barnes. He's gone across to take the corner, but he's giving Manchester United a lot of difficulty. The whistle's gone for a foul on the goalkeeper. Well, Barnes has twisted and turned on the right, in the centre, and found gaps in the Manchester United defence for others to exploit. Indeed, that one, as it was pulled back, came as far as Jobson, but the angle, to be fair to him, wasn't good enough for a shot. Grimes. Whiteside. Brian Robson trying to get into the match, but Kenny Jacket is tracking him very closely. That was his foul, Welsh international. And Manchester United are going to make their substitution. Arthur Orbiston was hurt in a challenge with Richard Johnson. He goes off, and Laurie Cunningham, on loan from Real Madrid, makes his first league appearance at Old Trafford for Manchester United. He took a fitness test himself this morning, as a matter of fact, before he was named. Robson turns it in. And Ashley Grimes has gone to play left-back. In place of the departed Orbiston. Cunningham has taken up an outside left position. Whiteside. Oh, he's turned Sims. Right foot, well saved by Sherwood. Out to Stapleton. The turn against Sims by Whiteside. Further evidence of just how far he's come this season. Looking for Blissett, who's got ahead of McGrath for a moment, and found Jobson! The best chance of the half, coming in stoppage time. And it fell to Watford, and to 19-year-old Richard Jobson, and on the bench they must feel that should have gone in. Luther Blissett against Paul McGrath. There was only one winner in that movement, and Blissett played a very, very good ball, which Jobson got underneath when it seemed almost easier to score, but it's very simple to say that from up here. And on that note, the first half ends, and one of the interesting features was the two examples of centre-forward play. Frank Stapleton was Manchester United's best attacker, and Watford's John Barnes was always a threat at the other end. Well, all you Sunday morning footballers who saw that miss of Richard Jobson's might bear in mind that only a few months ago he was one of you. He was playing Sunday football in Burton when the season started, and then picked up with Burton Albion, and it was from there that Watford signed him. And despite that miss, there are some good things from him to come, I'm sure. So the second half starts with Grimes again slotting in at left back, and the news of Arthur Albiston, he has a groin strain and joins the United injury list, which already includes Bailey, Muren, Moran, Coppell and Macari. Although talking to the United physio Jim McGregor before the match, I get the impression only Coppell is a real doubt for the FA Cup final. So there are still Wembley places to be played for in the Manchester United camp. Robson wide to Cunningham, and it'll be important that Manchester United service him if they're going to get any joy at all down that side. Does seem to still be a bit of doubt about Laurie Cunningham's fitness. Whiteside trying to hold his opponent off. Moses and Robson and Moses, and still ricochets. Whiteside, corner, well turned round. Whiteside had the shot. Moses was involved in the build-up. And Wilkins will go across to take the corner. McQueen up with the keeper, and hooked back in by Laurie Cunningham. Well, you have to go back a long way for a league goal by Laurie Cunningham. Over 4 years, in fact, for when he last scored for West Brom in 1979. Before leaving for Spain, but Gordon McQueen's presence confused Steve Sherwood, and when the ball dropped, Laurie Cunningham turned it into the net. So quite a start to his Old Trafford career for the player on loan from Real Madrid. Manchester United have now got Whiteside in a good position, and also Moses, who's through. And Remy Moses, well stopped. Moses held off the challenge of Les Taylor, and Steve Sherwood came to meet him. Cunningham. It took 3 tackles there to dispossess John Barnes. He's having a very good match. Here's Wilkins. And Whiteside on the chest, and if that had been played to either Stapleton or Cunningham, United were away. Instead it's offside against Barnes on the far side. Wouldn't have mattered, but the referee elected to play the advantage. Here's Wilkins. Moses. Stapleton. And Wilkins has made a forward run now, and so too has Stapleton. Beautifully found, and fouled by Sims. Penalty. Penalty to Manchester United. What a great ball by Remy Moses from the middle of the field. Superb pass. Stapleton was through. Sims caught him. Penalty. Now then, there's been lots of debate in the United camp about penalty takers, because Steve Coppell and Arnold Muren aren't playing, and Ashley Grimes, although Stapleton's got the ball, I fancy Ashley Grimes to take it, because that was the decision before last week's semi-final. makes it 2-0 with his left foot. So 63 minutes gone, and Manchester United increase their lead. It's interesting, that penalty, because I was chatting to Ashley Grimes before the match, and he was reminding me that when he was last the penalty taker, he missed one in a game we covered against Leeds at that end a few years ago. But although Sherwood guessed right, the power with the left foot there sent the ball in the corner. 2-0 to United then. Whiteside, Cunningham is to his left. The crowd want to see some magic from Laurie Cunningham. And had that ball rebounded off the body of Steve Sherwood, Frank Stapleton was waiting. Blissett will get the free kick against McGrath. Blissett heads it down for Les Taylor, and it was a good save, because I think the view of the goalkeeper, Whelans, may have been obstructed by either Barnes or McGrath. And that long kick of Jeff Whelans, the prevailing tactic when there are just 2 against 2 up the field. He's used that to good effect. And now Watford will take off David Johnson, and they will replace him with 17-year-old Worrell Sterling, who gets his first taste of league football, but not his first match at Old Trafford, because Sterling played in the FA Youth Cup final here last season. Manchester United are enjoying the best home league crowds for the 11th consecutive season in English football. There are over 43,000 here today. It's beginning to look like 3 fairly comfortable points in the end for Manchester United, providing they don't make any silly slips. And that's one, and it could have been punished. McQueen, surely. Sterling, well, dear me. Silly slips is an understatement. Blissett, and he's turned away from Wilkins and McGrath, and Manchester United got themselves into a right mess. The goalkeeper came and got terribly mixed up with his defenders, and then Gordon McQueen failed to make what looked like an elementary clearance. Worrell Sterling was nearly in for Watford. Les Taylor with the corner then. And the touch on that was by Barnes. Here's Sterling. Faced by 2. He worked well to earn the corner. Watford do discover a tremendous amount of good local talent. And as their corner count mounts, Barnes will take. In fact, just looking at that, Watford have now had 12 corners to Manchester United's 5, and yet find themselves 2 goals behind. The amount of corners and throw-ins they get reflects the way they play, but then again, to make them count properly, you've got to score from them. And today, so far, they've failed to do so. Whereas, ironically, Manchester United's first goal came from a corner. McQueen waiting for the bounce. Watford managing to get forward to the last. Well encouraged by their supporters, who've had so much pleasure this season. And off McQueen's head at the end, and That looks as though it may well be a penalty against Gordon McQueen, who jumped there with Steve Sims and presumably used the arm in the referee's opinion as he challenged. And a penalty to Watford right at the end of the match, giving Luther Blissett the chance to at least achieve a consolation. Oh, well saved by Jeff Whelans, who caps a fine display as Gary Bailey's deputy. He read which way Blissett was going to send that, got down to his left and pounced. And that was the last action of an eventful afternoon, when Watford may well reflect on missed chances like that one. But Manchester United's experience was telling after a first half in which Watford had taken the game to them. 2 second-half goals, the first by Laurie Cunningham, and the second from the penalty spot by Ashley Grimes. And those two players switched roles when Augustin went off. Grimes went to left-back, Cunningham came on as sub. They were the scorers, and Manchester United take 3 points.